In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down Kawhi Leonard and what allows him to score so easily on the offensive side of the ball. I hope that this video helps you become a better basketball player as well, so let's get down, let's check him out, hit that like button, and subscribe. Okay, so one thing that makes him really good, what I really like, is the fact that when he runs the wing, if his defender decides to go deep down into the key, he stays out on the wing, especially if the ball handler attacks the key. This is actually a very good strategy. So when your teammate is coming down the middle of the court with the ball and he is either in line with you or ahead of you, what you can do is, if your defender is not tailing right onto you and that defender tails down or pops down into the key, what you can do is set up at the wing. What you can hope for is your ball handler to pass the ball out to you, and of course you're going to hit some wide open threes. This next move is very good. He's got it through the legs, behind the back, killer crossover, stops at the elbow, spin move, and then gets the and one right at the basket. Or at least it should have been an and one, but it was never called. So what's he able to do? Well, he's able to dribble straight up. This can really catch defenders off guard because the defender is down into his defensive stance. He's got his shoulders over his knees, over his toes. And what he's doing here is trying to force Kawhi Leonard to go right into help defense. And of course, this is something that a lot of players will do. You need to attack the top foot. That is going to allow you to be able to really get to the net. But what Kawhi Leonard does here is he dribbles through his legs towards that top foot, and then he's able to cross behind his back, and then he hops into the crossover on that right side. This really baits that defender into thinking you're actually going to go in the direction as to where he wants you to go, so he's going to take a huge step that way. In that case, you need to cross back, and then you can continue the other direction. You always want to try and attack that top foot. And when this happens, you can then spin back around because his body is literally facing this way. If you can spin off of him, he needs to turn his whole body, and by the time he turns his whole body, you should already have your shot off. Now, of course, Porzingis comes over and fouls him, but that was never called. Now, on a fast break, what you can do is to dribble in front of your defender. This will allow him to step back off of you, and that should allow you to get open shots. So all you really need to do, if you're coming down, whether you have the ball or you just receive the ball like Kawhi Leonard did just right now, if you can dribble in front of your defender, he needs to now slow down and get back onto his heels, because of course what that means is if he continues to run, it's going to be a foul on him. He doesn't want to have that, especially if his name's Luka Doncic. And of course, at this point, what we're going to see is a wide open mid-range shot. Now, when you've got this much space and they're passing the ball out to you, if you have a player who is running out to you full speed, you could take a dribble in and take the shot. However, what you can also do if you want to help your teammates out is to attack the net, and then that's going to bring in a help side defender. You can kick it out for an open three, especially if you have teammates who can hit threes. Now, even though Zubac is a terrible screen and roll defender, he sets really good screens. So what we can have here is a quick 1 to 2 dribble after the screen, get a nice mid-range shot, and drain it. Super easy. Now, for this player to set this screen, you need to be super wide. Look at how wide his feet are. And because of that, Kawhi Leonard is able to get past that screen, but he also sets it up as well. And that's what I want to talk to you about right here. When Kawhi Leonard gets that screen, he's not just going to use that screen. That defender can get around it quite easily, whether underneath or over top. What you want to do is to set up the screen by doing either a quick crossover, killer crossover, in and out dribble that we just see here, and then you can set up that screen quite well. So another great move that we see Kawhi Leonard do quite a bit is when he receives this ball, he does a quick jab off of the direction as to where his defender is currently moving, and that way he can get to the basket. Uses his body to get there, but he still uses his body and gets to the rim. And what I mean is the ball is coming from the right side, the defender is coming from the right side. He then receives that ball, jabs towards that left side. He then uses that jab to cross over so he doesn't travel, and then he's able to attack that right side, which then gets that defender to force him towards that side. Remember, attack the top foot. Here, Kawhi Leonard attacks the top foot. That player, again, is forcing him towards that right side, or that left side. Kawhi Leonard attacks that top foot once again. See, top foot, spins off of it, and that way he's able to get a contested but very easy mid-key shot. Now we can see this once again off of the screen. He's attacking Porzingis. He then attacks that top foot once again, spins off, and seals. Watch that seal. I really want to show you this seal. I wish there was a close-up, but there isn't. When he spins, he goes right-left on the spin. His left elbow, you can sort of see it when he spins right there. You can see his elbow make contact with Porzingis' back. That allows him to get past that defender really easily. You can do this as well. You can make defenders upset like that as well. Yes, it technically could be classified as a foul, but when you're moving that fast, it's a perfect seal. You are technically allowed to do that. There's nothing really saying that you're not. He wasn't going in that direction. Yes, it was used to get an upper hand, but at the same time, the referee was literally right there and was allowed. Even Luka Doncic wasn't happy. That's the first time. These guys, there's news that they don't like each other. Look at that. They're both saying the same thing. Why was that not a foul? Now, again, going with the whole top foot idea, attacks the top foot once more with an in and out dribble, spins slightly off, and then bodies that player down into the low post. Now, you may be saying, how is that not an offensive foul on Kawhi Leonard? Well, let's see. After he makes this spin, when he is bodying this player, his shoulder is in line with his knee, which is pretty well in line with his toes. This is allowed. You are allowed to clear space if that player is in your space. So if your foot is down, that's your space. That means that you can push off on that plane of existence, and that will allow you to get that shot off over the defender. These are just some of the few things that Kawhi Leonard is doing super well this year in the playoffs. Now, defensively, he's had a few mistakes, but offensively, he has been a god. I hope that this video has helped you become a better basketball player. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe. Make sure to go check out all of the equipment that I use down in the description below, and I will see you guys again next time.